Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming back. We're on a wonderful, wonderful crisp day. It is, well, the 2nd of January, and it's a spectacular day in downtown Cyprus. The sun, well, it's glistening down. I invite you to come with me for a little drive, and the starting point is going to be Tsada village. That's up in the highlands above Paphos. It rests around 2,000 meters above sea level, so you're going to get some spectacular views as we go on that descent into the midlands, and then of course into the downlands known as Kato Paphos. Paradise indeed. For those of you who follow the channel, you understand that I'm on my own for a couple of weeks, and for those of you who are, should we say, new to the channel, well, normally I have a partner in crime. Her name is Marika. That's the name I gave her. Her name is Marika. But unfortunately, over the new year, we had a bit of bad news, and to give you an update of what's going on, she has literally flown out 2 hours ago. She's in the air, and she is en route to Athens, and then she's going to touch down in Athens and then switch planes, or switch big birds as we say, and then she's going to jet on down to Tbilisi in the country of Georgia, in the footlands above, or sorry, beneath Russia, if you're curious to know where Georgia actually is. Not Georgia the state in America, Georgia the country. So there we go, that's that update. We wish her all the luck in the world and all the condolences. Obviously she has to repatriate her father, who unfortunately was in Russia at the time when he died. Got to get him across the border, get him to Tbilisi, and then of course the proceedings have to take place. So a very, very sad time for us, and we reach out to the people who've reached out to us, and we thank you very, very much for all of your kind words and all of your kind thoughts. As time goes on, I will get round to those comments and I will reply to them, I promise you. Anyway, without further ado, I'm pretty sure, as promised, you can see there's a spectacular view as we start our descent from the highlands of Tsada village into the midlands of Paphos. That's what's coming up next, and then we're going to work our way through the centre. We're going to go straight through hell, because if you understand about Paphos, there is a lot of big diggering going on. It sounds so much better when Marika says those words, but she'll be back with us soon. 2 weeks she's coming back. She'll come back stronger. She's a fighter, that's for sure. And we'll kick off the new year afresh, and we intend to take the channel to new heights, and hopefully you will stick with us, and hopefully you'll come along with us and help us on our journey. So here we are. If you would take a left here, you would go up into what's known as the Olympus Villas area and the Vikla Villas area. Now if you want to buy a villa in Olympus Villa, you're probably going to be, if you're lucky, you might get one for just under $1 million, but probably you're going to go up to 1.5–2 million, somewhere around there. Up in Vikla Villas, it's a bit more reasonable. You can probably find an apartment up there for about 200,000, and then a townhouse for around 250 or thereabouts. Anyway, here we go. The descent continues into Upper Paphos. So the part we're going to come to is actually called Masoi. So that's the top village at the very, very top of Paphos town, if you understand me. There's a crossroad to traffic lights, and at those traffic lights you can turn left into Masoi village. You can go right to Tremathusa village, and then that would keep you going out towards Tala and the Tala monastery. But we're going to go straight, which means we're going to go through Main Street Masoi. And this is the street where there's lots of businesses. There's bakeries, gift shops, a couple of banks. And as we start the descent, you start to find what we're going to call superstores, furniture stores, and electrical stores, a couple of car dealers, and that sort of thing. So it starts off with a petrol station, Petrol Plus, on the right-hand side. And now technically we are in what I'm going to call Paphos town, but the locals will say, no, you're only in Masoi. So okay, but it's the first part. From here on, all the way down to Paradise, which of course is the Kato Paphos promenade and harbour. There are no stops, there are no breaks. It's just house after house, apartment after apartment, shop after shop. There is no wasteland, shall we say. So here we go. We've got various, there's a bookies there for Dave Jono, supermarket over there on the right hand side, then bakery. There's the stop time kiosk, You've got a big tyre place coming up on the left hand side. You've got the Helen Charles hair salon, and then you've got a cafe, restaurant, bar that they operate, although now it's changed hands, so I'm told. If you want some fancy stone for your villa, that's where you might pop there, Zen Stone. And then this little roundabout here, you could take the filter to the left and go towards Anavargos area and the General Hospital, and eventually wiggle and waggle to the main carriageway and go out to the airport, as the sign says. But we're going to go straight over. There's Santa Claus with his back to us, and that there is Chimark Motors. That's a large second-hand car dealer, and they also dibble and dabble in Opel, Citroen and Peugeot new car sales. Not that there's that much demand for those in Cyprus. It tends to be a bit of a BMW, Mercedes and Japanese car market in Cyprus. D&M Vet on the left hand side, very popular vets with expats and locals. And again, various big stores alongside places selling aluminium windows. You've got Red Furniture, you've got a big shoe shop, you've got an industrial area there, and you've got the Druthiosis car accessories. You want a stereo or car mats, that kind of thing. A massive empty superstore there, never been filled. And then coming up now is Sports Direct. You've got Unicars, that's the Volkswagen, Skoda and Seat dealer. And you've got Onyx, if you've got well, a couple of bobs, shall we say. You want a Porsche, a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, that's where you go. Then you've got Pilicutus, main BMW. Mega Electric, absolute cooling and heating. But the most important thing is to look at that view, because at the end of this drive you are going to see paradise. I'm sure you can make it out. In the very, very distance there is the blue Mediterranean Sea. And Sean, if you're having your breakfast with your family and you are curious to know what time it is, we're pretty much coming live to you over the next couple of weeks. The two videos are done the day that they are beamed onto your screens. So this video is being made at around about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it is, according to the dashboard, 20.5 degrees. Yep, you heard me correctly, 20.5 degrees on the 2nd of January as we wiggle and waggle down through Masoi Avenue into the older town of Paphos, and then we're going to get to paradise, which of course is downtown Kato Paphos. So if you're looking for that special place to come for the winter sun, whether it was before Christmas or whether it's in the new year as we are now, well, Paphos should be on that list, because I don't think that it gets much better than this. Now this is a main intersection again. We're going to go straight, as I said. If you were to filter to the right, you would wiggle and waggle and come out in Ember, and then have the decision to go down towards Clorica or Tala. If you were to go left here, you would go to the Anavargos roundabout. So if you mentioned before up the top there, that roundabout, I said Anavargos, you could take a left. Well, you'd come down that road and join the Anavargos roundabout. And then you'd wiggle and waggle and keep going, and eventually join the main highway, dual carriageway, motorway, whichever you choose to call it, which would take you from Paphos to Limassol. Although there are, of course, many stops on the way, Basuri, for example. Big MOT centre over there. On the right hand side, we've got Lidl. This little roundabout is new. This road is new. So if you've not been to Paphos for the last year, you haven't noticed any of this. And this road's only opened in the last, let me think now, 6 weeks. This part of the road's open. So this is a vast improvement, but hell is about to be thrown down upon us. Carrefour supermarket on the left, CY Bet, Dave Jono, if you want to have a bit of a gamble. You've got Zorfa's Bakery, you've got the Hellenic Bank, you've got a paint supplier there, and again there's all sorts of businesses along this road. Many have closed down, but some somehow have survived. This big diggering and complete disruption to Paphos has been going on now for 12 months plus. So how these businesses are surviving, I don't know. But as a consolation, apparently they don't have to pay any rates. How nice of the municipality. Since you can barely get to them, well, there we go. But as you see, many have closed down, many have moved, but some, because of course they own the freeholds, have survived, shall we say, and stuck here. As you can see, a lot of the businesses are still closed. Traditionally in Cyprus, well, it's like most of the world, isn't it? They have that extra day off after the new year, and then often it carries forward. And a lot of businesses in Cyprus are privately owned. It's not that big a market, if you understand me, so a lot of the businesses are family run. So a lot of the businesses probably close before Christmas and do not open up until well into the new year. And of course there's another holiday coming up on the 6th, 7th and 8th. That is the old calendar new year, and many Cypriots celebrate that, so they'll be closed until after that, shall we say. Anyway, as you can see, the roads are in a bit of a mess, and this, to be honest, is very good compared to the last time we drove here about a couple of months ago, if you go hunting back through our videos. And Marika was driving at that time, and even she was shocked because she'd not been around this area for quite a while. And the roads are absolutely Sherlock Holmes. If you're new to the channel, that's our word for when things are not too good. Basically translates to S-H-I-T. Big Papa Antonio supermarket. This guy's coming the wrong way, but there we go. This is Cyprus. You quite often meet a policeman coming the wrong way, so it doesn't really matter. We don't get that excited about it. They're putting a new roundabout in here, so this will make this part of the road better when it's open, because it was a traffic light which didn't give you much time, and you had to filter this way and filter that way, so it was very complicated indeed. So now technically we're in the old town, if you understand me. Just over to the right hand side it is the old town, and I apologise for the wiggling and waggling of the camera, but the road surface is absolutely horrendous. There we go. Public toilets there on the right hand side for the workmen or anyone else. And as you can see, if you're sitting in your armchair, oh so sweet Caroline, I'm pretty sure that you can feel some of these potholes, that's for sure. This is called Petrol Station Road now. You've got one on the left side, you've got one on the right hand side, and you've got another one just over there, and if you wiggle and waggle around to the right, you've got another one again. They're all in competition for your euro for those litres. And if you're wondering how much the price is, if you look at the sign, you can see that the standard benzene unleaded is €1.41, so approximately £1.25 a litre, and then your standard diesel is 161.2, so approximately 145 a litre. So I think we're pretty much on a parity with the UK at the moment, and in other countries, well, they work in the euro who are watching us, except for America, and America at the moment is 1-to-1 or thereabouts, so it's pretty easy to work out. But remember, I've said this before, being on a parity with other European countries for the price of benzene doesn't tell the whole story, because of course the salaries in Cyprus are not actually that high, contrary to what the government statistics tell us. Apparently every man in Cyprus earns 2,500, every woman earns 2.2, and they're not happy about that, because of course women should earn the same as men. But in reality, most men in Cyprus, and I mean most men in Cyprus with one job, will earn in and around 12 to 1,500 euros before stoppages, and most women, unfortunately they do get paid less, earn somewhere between 1,100 and 1,300 euros. So if you walk into most clothes shops, except if perhaps it's the owner, a supermarket, a bakery, to be honest, most of the women in there will be lucky to be on 1,100 euros before stoppages. Same in coffee shops, etc. You go into a bank, the staff in there are on around about 1,500, 1,600 euros. Obviously the managers are on a bit more. Seater employees around about 2,200. Electricity employees around about 2,200. So I think you're understanding when the government say salaries, what they're referring to is their own Gumbaru's salaries. So they're referring to the electricity board, the telephone companies, the water companies. All of those, by the way, are not private companies. They are all owned by the state. One of the peculiarities in Cyprus, where they joined the euro but didn't relinquish control of many things. Anyway, that's the rant over with. I don't mean it in a negative way, I'm just trying to paint it as it is. Now, as you can see, this road is a road from hell, but luckily it has opened one way, and it has relieved a little bit of the pressure off the congestion in and around the Old Town. Because if you were to wiggle round to the right there, guess what? Up past Marks and Spencer's and straight up onto the Old Town Square. Now this is the road that joins to the Paphos Mall. We're coming from the wrong way, if you understand me, and we're going to join the Paphos Mall roundabout. Of course, at that roundabout we're going to go straight under the Paphos Skywalk and then on and down and continue our descent into downtown Kato Paphos and of course the harbour area, or paradise as we like to call it. Now if you like what you see, please don't forget to hit the like. That tells YouTube that you like what you see and it recommends us to more people. And if you really like what you see, please consider clicking the like and the subscribe button so you understand exactly when the next video is going to come out, and you can watch it obviously at your leisure. And if you really want to help the channel grow and allow us to go to other cities in Cyprus and of course go off to further afield like Rhodes and Crete, as we've mentioned in previous videos, please consider going through to our about page where you could consider to buy us a coffee or two and perhaps even one for yourself. Very much appreciated. And just remember that YouTube does not pay us very much, contrary to the belief that we're all millionaires. We are not. Anyway, here we go. We're on the flat now, as you may have noticed. The descent is almost complete. You've got the Belladonna takeaway on the right hand side, you've got the Alpha Mega downtown supermarket on the left, you've got the bowling alley on the left here, and then you've got Sun Tower DIY and furniture shop is what we're going to call it on our left, which means just coming up on the right behind these trees is the silver building known as the King's Avenue Mall. So that's Paphos Mall, there it is. This is the roundabout, and this is the roundabout that now joins King's Avenue, hence why the Paphos Mall is called King's Avenue Mall. We're going to go straight over. We're going to go under this steel rusty structure which is known as the Paphos Skywalk. Now, I've mentioned this before, we've stormed it this way, that way, illegally, and we've even walked it after it opened officially. So go and hunt for those videos, Marika and me, Paphos Skywalk, and boom, up will come 2 or 3 videos on it. And I recommend anyone to come up and have a little walk on it. It'll take you about 5 to 10 minutes maximum. There's nothing spectacular about it, but you do get to see some very nice views when you get to the top of it. And it's a very casual walk, by the way, anyone can do it. When you look down towards the harbour area, you get to see the blue sea from a slightly different perspective, and when you turn the other way and look to uptown Paphos, you get to see uptown Paphos in a different view, at different perspectives. And I think it's well worth the walk, and it doesn't cost you a single penny. So it's literally from the harbour, which is where we're going now. Obviously we're driving it, but if you were walking it, even at a leisurely pace, it'll take you 15 minutes from the corner of where the promenade starts the harbour, and that's the Harbour Cafe Restaurant Bar on that corner. So 15 minutes to walk it, 5 to 10 minutes to walk the actual skywalk, then you can nip over to the Mall, chill out, go and have a nice coffee, spend some money, you never know, buy some blue Tommies, Mr. Mart, and treat Andrea to a little nice birthday present, because her birthday will just have gone when you arrive in February. Anyway, as tradition goes, I'd like to say thanks for watching, and if you do like what you see, hit the like, click subscribe, and please come back for a little bit more of our madness. And at this time our thoughts are with Marika and her family, and we know that her family will look after her. And if you're curious to know the baby Lavoof, that's Miss Ella, our daughter, has gone with her to hold her hand, and I'm going to look after the ship in Paphos because someone has to do it. So they're both very strong girls, that's for sure. We'll let this Gumbara go. Lost my train of thought there, sorry. It's a sad time. I know many people understand what I'm talking about, and I understand some people are thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Unfortunately, Marika's father died, Edward. We wish him well. He's en route from Russia, where he died, as we speak. Should cross the border into Georgia tomorrow. Marika and our daughter Ella will arrive in Georgia tonight, and they will start the proceedings to lay him to rest. And, we wish him a safe journey, and we'll see him in the next life. Now, this is the harbour area, and as you can see, there's an awful lot of people walking around because there's an awful lot of people still on holidays, as I've just said, and believe it or not, because of the weather, there are an awful lot of people here on holiday. And anyone who wants to meet us, please drop it into the comments, and we will do our very, very best to bump into you in the downtown Kato Paphos Harbour or promenade area, because we want to interact and meet as many people as possible. We love all of you, and we thank every single person for watching us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.